Hi guys, Joshua here, frames per second, and today I have with me Diana.
Yeah.
And we are shooting some high ISO black and white film. We have Kodak's newly re-released P3200 TMax. It's nice when film stocks are getting remade rather than discontinued. But I also haven't tried the Ilford, which I know you have.
Yeah.
Ilford 3200 Delta. And so it'll be cool to see what we get. And especially because you're not much of a street shooter as much as your other stuff, right?
No, I actually much prefer shooting landscapes, but I guess that kind of is something that I might be getting into a little bit more, depending on the result on how the shoot goes. We'll see if I have an affinity for it, I suppose. Ready to shoot.
Okay, so we're back, and it's definitely not over a month later. I was hoping it would feel softer. It's like okay. What were your initial thoughts seeing your images back?
Well, I found that my images turned out a lot better than what I thought they would actually, because I was a little bit scared going into black and white film photography that it didn't really turn out that great because I wasn't looking for contrasty shots. This time I went in with the mindset knowing that that's what I need to be able to get a good image, and things just turned out so much better than I thought they would.
Especially for film that's like 3200 ISO, it's not as grainy as I was expecting. I've shot 1600 ISO color film that looks grainier than this film does.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the biggest difference between the two films is contrast. The TMax is definitely contrastier than the Delta, which when you look at the Delta, sometimes it is a bit more washed out, but the good thing with that is you can always add contrast.
Yeah,
Well, it's harder to take it away, which means you do lose some information of the TMax that you'd actually keep if you shot it with the Delta.
I found that it was actually a lot more versatile than I thought that it would be, because 3200 film, you instantly think, oh, you'd only use this for really artistic, like over the top shots, but I get some awesome shots shooting on that film at night time, and I was really happy with the results.
How much would you tweak it, or are you pretty happy with how they turned out this kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, most of them I'm actually really happy with, except for the ones where I, had soft focus, and in some photos they were kind of unsalvageable because I'd accidentally metered for the brighter parts of the photo, and so my subjects turned out a lot darker in my photos, and I was a bit disappointed by that. 3200
ISO, you don't have to use it at night. You could use it during the day if you want more deep focus. Because one of the hard things with street photography is getting stuff in focus. So if you wanted to not worry about that as much, you could have it on 16. And just be shooting with 3200 ISO and have more things in focus, so you're not losing subjects that you usually get soft if you were shooting on a lower ISO stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one thing, if I get another roll, I do want to test it during the day just to see what I can get, because there's definitely lots of really cool shots that I've lost just because things have just been soft.
I actually really liked the fact that some of my blacks were washed out in my film. It just added sort of an extra kind of film look to it, which you did get obviously in the TMax from what I can see, but yeah, I definitely appreciated having that extra little bit of bandwidth to be able to play around with some of these shots.
Yeah. So definitely I've edited 2 of my photos, and it was definitely hard to get information back with TMax.
Today's episode is brought to you by Shades of Play, the adult store.
No, it's not. Don't associate me with that shot.
Off the roll, without any editing, I think I do prefer the TMax look, but with the Delta you can easily achieve that in post and you'll have more information to play with rather than... So we've got 8 frames left and Diana has 15.
I'm actually really enjoying it because I'm starting to think more about framing and contrast more than I think about the colours.
We've got food. Okay. I think that's mine. Food.
Oh, smells so good. So one of my favourite shots of the night was the photo of the guy listening to music just on the other side of the glass that we were sitting behind for lunch, and I absolutely wasn't paying attention to you know, taking photos at all, but when I turned around there was just something about the way he was standing there and the reflection of the glass in front of me that made this shot look really interesting.
A lot of these episodes I'm usually like, oh, I wasn't on my game that day. I do like most of my photos more this time, and a lot of that was because I did have the right lenses at the right time.
True.
Kind of like photos where people are taking photos of themselves. Like taking them. They're not usually my favorite, but I don't know. I find it kind of funny. It's really cute one of this little girl dancing in a Starbucks. Like her parents are just like having coffee or whatever, and she was just like dancing around.
That was adorable.
It was one of those things where I was like, I need to quickly grab the exposure properly and get the shot before she stops. And so that's one of my favorites. Like, I do find the more human photos more my favorites than like the cool shots, I guess.
Yeah.
But then there's also this girl that let us take a photo, which is nice, and it turned out well. I mean, I did have to tweak it a bit in the edit just because it was fairly contrasty. If anything, I'd probably get her to face a light source a bit more than I did. But
I will just add, actually, with that girl, the reason why she stood out to us, actually, was because she was wearing this beautiful bright red blouse. And I was so cut in that moment that I wasn't shooting on colour film.
I've also played with two shots with a lens that has been rehoused to kind of have anamorphic bokeh. And the bokeh did look really nice. One of the shots is soft though because it is totally manual focus. But it was nice to see how it would turn out, especially on film. Stay where you are, but lean on your right leg. And then look at me. And take like a quarter of a step forward. And kind of lean back a little bit. Can you take like an eighth of a step back? Okay, cool. I'll try to get something without you holding the camera. Overall, I was really happy with how the film turned out.
Yeah.
Cool. Would you definitely use it again?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Would you give the TMax a go?
Oh yeah, for sure. If I was shooting on the TMax though, I feel like I probably wouldn't use it for nighttime because I would probably struggle to get most of my subjects well exposed, especially because I'm still learning to use, I guess, you know, the different types of metering modes and stuff. And one thing that I absolutely noticed about shooting even on the Delta was that I was sampling the brighter parts of the photos without realizing, and some of my subjects did end up being quite dark, and that was a little bit disappointing. And I know that if I was to shoot the TMax at night, I would definitely struggle with that a lot more than I did this time.
Okay guys, just letting you know, Bull Bar is an amazing Korean restaurant. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Bring some friends, but it's $1 bill per table though.
Yeah, and please subscribe. It's the last 20 seconds of the video, which is the only time they let you have the subscribe button up. So hit that button. Need to finish this quickly. I hope you enjoyed frames per second. If you actually shot on any of these films, we do have our Facebook page in the description below. So if you want to post anything you've shot with it, we'd be curious to see what you got out of it too. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm Josh, Diana. Her Instagram will be in the description as well. But thanks for watching.